Hello students, today's topic is monetary policy, the transmission mechanism. Let's start with the case of expansionary monetary policy. On one side we have central bank and on the other side we have commercial banks. In case of expansionary monetary policy, central bank will purchase bonds from the commercial banks and in return it will pay them money. What the commercial banks will do with this money? They will give out loans to general public. But don't you think it will create excess supply of money in an economy? That means a situation of portfolio disequilibrium, because now money supply exceeds money demand. Let us understand this concept with the help of graphical representation. Here we have two axes. We have taken income or output on the horizontal axis and interest rate on the vertical axis. This is downward sloping IS schedule, upward sloping LM schedule. Simultaneous equilibrium is achieved at point E. Equilibrium interest rate is OY0 and equilibrium output level is OY0. Now if money supply increases, then LM schedule will shift rightwards to LM dash. And this portion denotes excess supply of money, that is portfolio disequilibrium. When commercial banks gave out loans to general public, what the general public will do with this money? They will try to purchase some other assets like bonds. That means demand for bonds will be increased, due to which bond prices increases, bond yields will be decreased. So now people have less incentive to invest in bonds as bond yields has been decreased. In that case, demand for money will be increased because now people will keep their money with themselves and demand for money will be increased until we'll achieve portfolio equilibrium. As you can see, interest rate has been decreased from OI0 to OI1 and at point E1 we have achieved portfolio equilibrium. So now there is no excess supply of money and portfolio disequilibrium is vanished out. These steps denote first stage of the transmission process. The transmission mechanism. First one, change in real money supply. Portfolio adjustments lead to change in asset prices, that is bond prices, and interest rates, that is bond yields. These two steps constitutes first stage of the transmission process. I don't know you have noticed or not, but at point E1 we have achieved portfolio equilibrium, but there is goods market disequilibrium. Let's take a look only at these two steps. When interest rate decreases, demand for money goes up, but with the decrease in interest rate, investment spending will also be higher, due to which aggregate demand will be increased and in that situation there will be excess demand for goods, which will create a situation of goods market disequilibrium. To correct this situation or to meet the excess demand for goods, output level needs to increase. So output level will be increased up to the level OY dash. At point E dash, equilibrium interest rate is OY dash. Goods market disequilibrium is vanished out. At point E dash, we have achieved simultaneous equilibrium. But why the interest rate has been increased from OI1 to OI dash? When the output level increased, demand for money goes up. That means excess demand for money, and in that situation, cost of holding money, that is interest rate, increases. These steps denote second stage of the transmission process. Spending adjusts to changes in interest rates. Output adjusts to changes in aggregate demand. So these two steps constitutes second stage of the transmission process. Thank you.